told you that in this case, it might actually be better to go with the tin skin than the fiberglass option? Welcome everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV here, and this is an RV that you can get built a couple different ways. Either in, this is the base version we're looking at today, or you can get the Platinum Edition, which gives it fiberglass skin, this beautiful nose cap with an amazing windshield. It has a very amazing smexy look to it. But as we're looking at it today, the RV that we're looking at has between 1,000 and 1,100 pounds of cargo carry capacity. That's pretty respectable, I think, for a smaller single-axle little camper. But if you get the Fiberglass Platinum package, you eat into that cargo capacity and you'll actually drop below 1,000 pounds of available CCC. Now, there's benefits, certainly, to the fiberglass package, largely aesthetic, but it can be easier cleaning. But for a pure function sake, it is lighter weight, it is less expensive in this configuration right here. You will see that we offer it both ways at Bish's RV, so when you check the link in the description for pricing and availability, you'll see it both ways, because if you're not gonna tow a lot, if you're not gonna put water in the tanks, maybe you can deal with the lower cargo capacity, and you want the extra Smex appeal of Platinum. That's what this one is. Now, there's tons of builders who have copied this floor plan, but this one is the original, the double over double bunk single axle little RV with a full true U-dinette. A year or two ago, they tweaked around the bed, so instead of an east-west bed, you had to crawl over one another. They went with a north-south bed, but it's a bendy bed Murphy bed system that when the slide closes, you can't access, and information like that, giving you the good with the bad. That's what I want to do in this video, to help you decide if this is the right one for you or not, because, you know, there's a lot of money potentially here on the line, and I want you to find your second RV the first time. And if you appreciate those kind of, you know, fair and candid looks at this stuff, hit that subscribe button. I should go get some sunglasses, because right now I'm getting blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night. So in these videos, I like to do what I call showing you the good, the bad, the ugly, with everything in between. And if something's a deal breaker, I almost prefer just to get it out of the way. And that's not good for YouTube's science, but I don't make these videos to try to get like the most views and the longest views. I do these as a service to our customers. Now, this has a north-south Murphy bed, and when the bed's deployed, it kind of, you can see, is right in the middle of the entry door walkway. I think the idea behind this one, though, is during the day, when you'd be coming and going from this door, that bed is going to be out of the way. But if that's something you don't like, that's okay. You know, that's why I point this out. It just means that maybe this isn't the right RV for you. Now, what I want to do here is kind of give you a 360 spin you around like a record baby before we start getting into more details. Technically, we have an entertainment wall over here, but we might be looking at maybe a 20-inch TV screen on that. The thing is, though, I don't care, because personally, I'm not going to get a little family bunkhouse RV like this so that we could sit inside and watch TV all day. If I'm looking at a small RV like this, it's because I either don't have a big vehicle or just don't want a big RV. And I'm trying to do everything I can just to sleep my family, to feed them, to bathe them, and then tell them to go outside and just get out there and make memories and get dirty and have fun and don't hurt each other too much, kids. That's what I'm going for. Nice little details, though. Each bunk has its own separate curtain, which is actually pretty darn handy. Both bunks have windows. The top bunk benefits from 2 windows. The bottom bunk benefits only from a single window, because the camp kitchen baggage door would cover like a lower window in this position. I do want to point out that both upper and lower bunks do have those handy USB plugs right there. This also has the larger 10 plus cubic foot variety 12 volt compressor fridge. I keep trying to find a way to shorten how I say that, but I feel like if I don't say 10 cubic foot 12 volt compressor fridge, then someone's going to want to know what size is it, what's the power source, etc. So I don't know. I feel like I have to just keep giving all of that information. Now, the kitchen in this is quite small. They've done some nice things, though. They had to get really weird with their power outlet location. Like, you might notice there's one up there above the sink, which is odd. And I need your input. What is the correct way to do this? Because a lot of manufacturers will put the stovetop next to the refrigerator. And then people say, now the bacon grease splashes the refrigerator, which I think is fair. But then, if you move it over here to the other side, people say, well, now I've got a hot fire source potentially right next to the door with my kids coming and going. And that's also a fair point. And if they tried to put the stovetop in the middle, then you'd have really major problems for your sink and your counter space. So it feels like no matter what they do, something about this is, quote, wrong and doesn't work for somebody. So I don't know. I guess, what do you think is the correct way to go? Now, different manufacturers make this floor plan and they all execute it in a little bit different ways. Well, we got a wicked glare coming in, and apparently I need to clean my lens. It's looking awful foggy and gross and whatnot. But as I said, this is a Murphy bed, so during the day, this can get out the way, which is a fun little rhyme I really never intended, but hey, I'll take it. And when you do get that bed out of the way, move bed, get out the way, it opens the space up in here a lot. Now, thing is, I don't use a tricky fisheye wide-angle camera lens, so what I have to do sometimes is literally engage my core muscles and lean back and somehow magically on camera crawl my way back into a bunk space to help give you a wider look at everything. Now, there's parts of this dinette that I really like, and there's parts of this dinette I really do not like. I like the fact that it's carpetless, and I get the idea behind these lagoon style tables, but the thing is, the way that this one is mounted and positioned, it makes sitting here a problem. And I think that it limits our seating space, but I'm not at the best angle to showcase that. I'll get back to that in a second. I do want to give them credit, though, for including some lights in this big, deep slide out that we have here. A lot of builders who make a floor plan like this, it's just dark in that slide. And lights and windows are the two most expensive things in RV production. It sounds crazy, but if you want to make an RV just cost less money very, very quickly, you delete lights, windows, and an oven, and you can peel out a lot of money, like $1,000 cold, really, really fast. Now, I'm probably going to have to kick you over into the realm of fisheye wide-angle lens, but I want to show you how this works and what I mean when I say a bendy bed Murphy bed. So, first of all, wide-angle lens mode, wide-belly dad bod mode, chicken nuggets are delicious, and Taco Bell is cheap. So, there you go. Also, I lack discipline, and I don't need an external enabler. I can do that myself. So, let's show you how the Murphy bed works. Simple jackknife sofa. Now, you might notice there's not a flat bed deck that folds down over this. We are just dropping and flopping the mattress over top of it. Now, I don't know if that's going to make it feel more comfortable and softer, or if it's going to make it feel more lumpy and uncomfortable, or if it's going to depend on the mattress, because let's be real, this is a backbreaker, death wafer kind of mattress right here. At the very least, you're probably going to want to get some kind of foam topper. It is obviously a seamed, folds in the middle, a bifold, short queen mattress. Now, there is room over here where if you wanted to, yeah, skinny guy, that's like 27 inches. There's room if you wanted to get a true queen bed, if you could source a folding true queen, because you can't leave this bed down for road mode transit purposes. Now, you might notice I'm not taking my shoes off, because I think that helps demonstrate the fact that this is a short queen bed, and I'm a little over 6 foot. When I lay on this thing, you can see that my feet hang off the bed. This is what I call Bed Goblin Union approved. Those are the little guys that either reach up and tickle your toes, or they bite off your entire toenails. I don't know. They do one of the two things there. But, how can I demonstrate it here? Let me get, I don't like shoes on the furniture, but this has these cool little side pocket stands over here. I wonder if... Alright, so, yeah, we got these little side pocket stands over here that, as you can see, are big enough to fit my fat nugget through them. And I could even manage to get out of this thing if I engage the core muscles. They're under all of this somewhere. Anyway, to show you how this goes away, we fold that up. I like to then stand it up kind of like this. And then, you gotta push it back a little bit because we got our Murphy sofa to come back in. And then we get this guy. So, you know, a couple different things you could do with this. I suppose during the day, if you wanted to, you could throw a pillow on it and lay across this thing right here. But that's what we're looking at. And this might be a deal breaker. It might not. I don't know. but I want to take the time to show you how easy it is or isn't and just demonstrate it in a real and candid fashion. If you appreciate the extra Burt Reynolds demo information that we're doing right here, maybe hit that subscribe button and we'll see what we got for storage access in this old bad boy. Oh, I've got to lay off the McChickens. They're just such a value. So back to the realm of traditional human eyes, for those of us who do not have compound eyes like a fly or a mantis shrimp or something, you may have noticed under the sofa there's a couple totes. What's kind of cool is these are actually food-safe totes. And, you know, they sort of stow out of the way, but if you don't want them there, they're just totes. You can move them out the way. To give you an idea, I stuffed this one with a couple pillows that come with the camper. The sofa armrest bolsters that are included, I shoved those in there as well, just to kind of give you a reference point. Now, we're going to take a look at this from the other side outside, because that's not actually a cabinet. That's actually an access into your front pass-through, which is interesting. Notice, too, they gave us household outlets inside and outside those wardrobe towers where you have those little side access cubbies. Now, over here, they gave you like a little place to keep some key rings or something, or you could, I don't know, use that like a little phone holder or something of the sort. Apparently it's 10:15 a.m. at the time that I'm recording this here. I do like the fact that the north-south bed arrangement gives them double hanging side stands, effectively. A little miss on the cabinetry fit and finish. I hope you appreciate that when I see something, I say something. I'm not going to just gloss over stuff. This brand doesn't really do a whole lot of side stand or overhead strutted doors or anything like that. In case you're curious, for window shades, we do have a pleated blackout shade. When we start getting into the GeoPro money, you'll start getting those nice roller shades. But at these dollars and cents, you don't tend to run into those very often. Now, both of your dinette like side seating benches have this full storage cavity below them. What I would recommend doing for that is getting one of those long flat totes from like Target or Walmart and basically using those to create a drawer where there isn't organically a drawer. Now, I said that there's things about this dinette that I like and I dislike. I like the flex multifunctionality of it. I don't like this execution of that kind of lagoon style table. Like, it's like they had too many ideas that they tried to mash in all together once. Now, maybe you love this. Maybe I'm wrong. That's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I don't personally care for it. It doesn't mean your opinion's lesser than mine. It's your money on the line. Your opinion matters more at the end of the day. But I love the fact that if you want to turn it from a a U bench into a 2 bench, you can do that, because the rear plank basically can just totally swing out of the way. But that can also fold down into a sleeper. Now, I'll say that aesthetically, having all these strips of Velcro looks kind of willy-nilly all over the place. It doesn't look awesome. But I want to give them some credit. At least they put the Velcro there so the cushions aren't constantly flopping over the place. And they did at least, throw fasteners on them to keep them stuck to the wall so that they don't just get hot and peel off the wall. And as dumb as that sounds, giving them praise for that, there's so many brands that haven't done that. I think it's worth noting. Again, finishing up all these storage look here, then we'll get to the bathroom and then the road mode and then the outside, as the timestamps on the video probably suggest for us. This floor plan doesn't offer the opportunity for wastebasket space. As it turns out, it would be nice if they did. What I do want to praise them for, though, is that they gave us not even just one, but 2 good kitchen drawers right here. And that means that under the skin, one of the things you don't know is above a furnace like that, they have to put a heat shield. So they're doing some things under the skin that you can't see that provide you some pretty nice benefit, I think, you know. Does this brand do everything? No. Is this a $50,000 trailer, though? No. For $50,000, I can get you one that does all the things, but this doesn't run that, obviously. It is a conventional microwave. It's not a, what do I want to say? Air fryer, like microwave oven, anything like that. Just, oh, look at that. Apparently, this cabinet door can be used to activate or deactivate the light above that. I want to make sure I don't flash that too often. I'm sorry. I forgot there's some photosensitive viewers. And I forgot that those automatically slam closed. So the people using headphones, I just banged that into your ears. My apologies once again. Not exactly what I'm trying to do, but I'm sort of just, batting 1,000 over here today. Now, aren't I? One last little tidbit here in the living area that kind of just occurred to me. If you are stuck inside on a rainy day, and the table's annoying and you just want to get it out of the way or something like that, nothing says you couldn't just kind of makeshift this thing into some sort of open lounge space. Now, it's not as comfortable as a traditional sofa, certainly, but to get you through a pinch, maybe it could do the job. I don't know. Everyone's got a different opinion on stuff like that. Moving back here, we do have a little bit of a peekaboo, I smell you bathroom door. And usually what people worry about more is not the fact that somebody can smell you, it's that they can hear you when you're in here doing the things that you do in a bathroom, you know. Now, here's another thing. This is a stick-built camper. So there's basically studs in the wall on average every 16 inches. So if you wanted to add some hanging towel bars or racks or something there, as long as you get a stud finder and you calibrate it by holding it up to your chest and going, yep, there's one, you can find yourself some studs. Anybody who knows anything about tools knows how to calibrate a stud finder. I'm not even good with tools, and I know how to do that. The space around the toilet, if you take a look on the right side of the screen, is pretty darn decent. And if we work our way up here, you can see that we've got a full surround from floor to ceiling, basically, around that rectangular shower. However, you can see if you're a little bit over 6 foot tall like me, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time fitting into that shower unless your head's all the way up in the skylight. Now, something I have mentioned is that skylight is also your bathroom power vent fan. And if I back up, where is it at? It's directly like above your head when you walk in the door. You do have a power venting little mini skylight thing here in the living room kitchen area. Now, obviously, as you can see, that is the dollar store 4-inch fart fan. That's not the big fan by any stretch of the imagination. But the fact is, if you you want to upgrade that fan, or you just want a little bit of extra airflow or something, you do have that capacity available for you. Now, when we close the slide, it's kind of a tale of two cities. The thing is, we see when this slide out closes, that when they converted it a year or two ago over to a north-south Murphy bed, you lose the function of the bed in transit. So they focused and prioritized destination use and comfort over travel use and comfort. And some people are going to think, well, that makes sense. And some people are going to say, nope, that's a deal breaker. And I respect both people. And that's why we have all these different videos of all these different models. And I take the time to close the slides on all these different things so you can see them and decide which one works best for you. If you like the general layout, but you need better road mode function, check the links in the video description. But, this is still travel stop friendly, because we can still get to the bathroom, we can get to the kitchen, and, like, you could load up all your storage so it's pack 'em up friendly. You know what I mean? Like when it's, if it's parked beside the garage or something like that. The other thing is, you see that blue sticker. This is a Norco Exact slide. In theory, you should be able to sit in and occupy that slide while it's retracted. Now, here's the thing. Norco, the slide system maker, says that's okay. But, and it's a big but, Wildwood, who actually provides the warranty for you, to my knowledge, has never tested and sanctioned this slide to be used while occupied. So, I think as a result, the best thing I can tell you is, for now, plan on not occupying that, but there's potential you might be able to, or at least be gentle and use common sense and check on that before you do go dropping the atomic elbow off the top rope in that sucker. Anyway, if you appreciate the extra insights, extra efforts here, putting together all that bonus footage for you, hit that subscribe button. Let's hop outside. Now, it's kind of confusing to some folks. If you look at the left side of the screen, you can see what I'm going to call the brochure weights and measures for an absolute base model version of this. That's what most people are going to put on their web. I'm sure we probably put that on our websites. It's what the manufacturer provides. But the thing is, sometimes when they individually scale an RV, the numbers work out slightly differently for one reason or another. Sometimes I think it's just because all the water hasn't flushed out of the tanks. But the specific RV we're looking at today is 4,541 pounds with 1,087 pounds of cargo capacity. So that may be slightly different from what was on screen. But once again, you can get this RV built two different ways. Today we're looking at it in the absolute base conventional version with that really slick looking retro metal on the sides there. It's actually thicker and has an anti-scratch coating on it, which is cool. Here's the thing though. You can get this in the Platinum Edition, and to give you a quick rough idea of what that looks like, this is a different floor plan, but it's another Wildwood FSX or Salem FSX, because again, they're the same thing, but an FSX single axle in the Platinum package. You get the good looking fiberglass skin, the graphics package changes a little bit, and of course the nose cap and the windshield. Here's the thing, you add a lot of weight and cost when you do this. And even on just an RV this size, it could be roughly 300 to 350 pounds of additional weight added to it, which means 300 to 350 pounds less available cargo capacity. And that could be a problem for some folks. So if you appreciate how I'll go out of my way to point out potential pitfalls that we may have literally on the inventory in stock that we sell, maybe drop me a little like on the video. Be like, hey, thanks for shooting me straight, nerd. And we'll keep moving on. Now, I do appreciate the fact that they put a battery disconnect in the front here. And these are a manual tongue jack. If you wanted a power jack, you might notice it's the same 3-bolt pattern up there on the tongue. So you could swap out jacks pretty simply, pretty easily. I do appreciate the fact that they've maintained a full stone guard. In these single axle RVs, there's some really cutthroat budget stuff out there right now. Like more cutthroat than I think I've ever seen in my almost 16 years of doing this. So keep an eye on that. Now, there's an optional 200-watt solar package you can put on the roof, but it always has a little side mount solar plug. So if you want to get a little suitcase portable panel, you can chase the sun that way. Magnet holdbacks for the baggage doors, although they are the traditional like butterfly, like almost wing nut style, latches and whatnot. But when they revised this model, they gave it a full front pass-through. You might notice there's a baggage door on the other side, but there's this little bit of bump space in the way. This is the sofa that we're looking at. Now, I actually really appreciate the fact that they fully radiused all this stuff, even down here under the Murphy sofa. And it looks kind of funny. You see that door right there? That is the door that actually goes into the RV. Remember those side stands beside the sofa? Those are not actually cabinets. They're actually access doors to get into your front pass-through. Now, we are right up next to this tandem axle Wildwood model over here. So it's kind of when you go from FSX to X-Lite, basically you're going from single axle to double axle is pretty much what you're running into there. I do really appreciate the fact they have maintained a stovetop vent hood. That's the thing on the right side of the screen to the right of the X in FSX. And in case you're wondering what FSX stands for, I don't know. I think it's just some made-up letters where they thought it sounded cool. Now, I want to give you a cautionary thing that a lot of bunkhouses suffer from, especially with slide-outs. You have your tankless on-demand water heater and your furnace hot air exhausts, basically hot to the touch points over here on the campsite of the RV, where little kiddos could be running around. So you're going to want to make sure you tell them hot, no touch, especially if they're littles, and if you've got a drunken Uncle Gary, you got to say it even more simply, like, no touch, he's hot. And he's like, anyway. They have maintained a standardized little mini camp kitchenette over here. And if you don't like it, you could remove it, but it is a factory standard object. Around this little corner, though, they do have some USB plugs, which I think is a easily missed, but actually very handy kind of feature right there. And even if you leave the griddle here, I like how they kind of gave you the space, a little bit of storage compartment area. They also shoved a refrigerator over here into this awkward corner, but the way the door swings open, you can just reach around and you can either grab a Hug Juice barrel for the kids, or you can get yourself a bottle of water or a barley pop. Or you could get yourself a Hug Juice barrel as a mixer, depending on what kind of diabetes you want. Do you want grape or blue raspberry? They did a good job putting about the biggest awning on this they could, though. I do respect that. It does have a gas grill quick connect, of course, for that griddle. They have standardized a spare tire, and that sounds like a stupid thing to talk about. But again, there's some cutthroat, dollar cheaper stuff out there, and you're definitely going to get $1 less for it, These guys, they are all fighting for dollars and cents and pennies on these. A very rare quality on this one, though, is the fact that the underbelly is actually enclosed like this. A lot of your single axles are not. And you can see the stabilizer jack staring us in the face, but you actually do have front and rear stabilizers. You also have a single sewer outlet. The ye old crap tap, if you will. The roof is walkable. It's ladder prepped, doesn't include a ladder, but it is walkable. Again, from the factory, if you want, you can throw a 200-watt solar package up there. The Platinum fiberglass package we looked at, by the way, that actually has the factory solar package included as part of the Platinum package, so kind of keep that in mind. And again, we have the Norco Exact Slide system over here. Also, the black tank flush. You may have noticed there's an outside shower on the opposite side of the RV, basically just above the fender well, so you can hose the kids' feet off before they trek dirty dirt into your dirty dirt, like as opposed to clean dirt. What's wrong with my brains? And if you're curious about the differences between the conventional tin skin benefits or the fiberglass benefits, I know a guy with a whole video breaking that down. And if I don't forget, I will leave you a link to that in the video description. And in case you're curious about this thing over here, that is, which model is that? That looks like that's the 165 View. And if I don't forget, I'll also leave you a link to that in case you're curious. And if not, don't look at those. So, whether you're curious or whether you're serious, you can take a look at the video description. You can find links for pricing and availability. You'll also find links for similar floor plans from other brands. Like we have our Bish's exclusive Go Play, the 188 BHS, but there's Catalina versions of this. There's also fancy pants upscale things like J Feathers. There's a more parallel like Wolf Pup option and opportunity. There's also things like Ember has versions of this with bunks that could be removed and potentially even have things like washer dryer hookups in an RV this size, but probably for about twice the budget. And maybe that's okay with you. Maybe you just want all the right things, you know, you need all the right junk in all the right places. My point is, we've got a little bit of something for everybody, and chances are if it's on wheels, we've got it at Bish's RV. So when you're ready, we're ready. Meantime, take a look at those other RVs. Tell me which one you like or which one you'd go with if your money was on the line. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.